Shocking NBA bombshell, Josh Giddey demands $30 million from the Bulls. Is this 21-year-old Aussie sensation worth superstar money? The Chicago Bulls are on the hot seat, and their decision could change the NBA landscape. Watch now to see why this might be the craziest contract negotiation of the year. Welcome to Chicago Bulls News, your go-to source for the latest updates on the Windy City's favorite team. Today we're diving into some juicy NBA drama that's got the whole league buzzing. We're talking about young gun Josh Giddey and his reported $30 million per year demand from the Chicago Bulls. That's right, you heard it here first. The Australian sensation is looking to get paid, and we're going to break down whether the Bulls should open up their wallet or tell Giddey to keep dreaming. But before we get into all that, make sure you smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you never miss out on the hottest NBA news and analysis. Let's get into it. Alright, let's set the stage here. Josh Giddey, the 21-year-old point guard out of Australia, has been making waves in the league since he was drafted 6th overall by the Oklahoma City Thunder back in 2021. The kid's got game, no doubt about it. But is he really worth a cool $30 million a year? That's the question on everyone's mind, and it's got the Chicago Bulls front office in a tight spot. Now, for those of you who might not be up to speed on Giddey's career so far, let me give you a quick rundown. In his 3 seasons with the Thunder, he's shown flashes of brilliance that have had scouts and fans alike drooling over his potential. We're talking about a 6'8" point guard with court vision that'll make your head spin and passing skills that would make Magic Johnson proud. But let's break down some numbers here. In the 2023-2024 season, Giddey averaged a solid 12.5 points, 6.4 rebounds, and 4.9 assists per game. Not bad, right? But here's the kicker: his shooting percentages have been a bit of a roller coaster ride. We're looking at 44% from the field, 33% from beyond the arc, and a less than stellar 70% from the free throw line. So, the question is, are those numbers worth $30 million a year? The Bulls seem to be interested, but they're definitely scratching their heads over this one. Now, let's talk about why the Bulls might be eyeing Giddey in the first place. Chicago's been in a bit of a slump lately, and they're looking to shake things up. They've got some solid pieces in Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan, but they're missing that dynamic playmaker who can elevate the whole team. Enter Josh Giddey. The Bulls front office sees Giddey as a potential franchise cornerstone. They're thinking long-term here, folks. At just 21 years old, Giddey's got plenty of room to grow, and the Bulls are betting on him reaching his full potential in the Windy City. But $30 million a year? That's a hefty price tag for a guy who's still got some question marks in his game. Now, let's talk about what $30 million a year actually means in today's NBA. We're looking at max contract territory here, folks. That's the kind of money reserved for your Giannis Antetokounmpos, your Nikola Jokic's, your Steph K's. Is Giddey on that level? Not yet. But the Bulls might be banking on him getting there. Look at some of these plays, though. The vision, the creativity, the basketball IQ, it's all there. You can't teach this kind of stuff. Giddey's got that special sauce that makes scouts drool and GMs reach for their checkbooks. But here's where it gets interesting. The Bulls aren't the only team in the mix here. We've got reports that the New York Knicks and the Dallas Mavericks are also sniffing around, trying to get a piece of the Giddey pie. This could turn into a full-blown bidding war, and that's where things get dicey for Chicago. The Bulls have some flexibility with their cap space, but they're not swimming in cash either. If they commit $30 million a year to Giddey, that's going to limit their ability to make other moves and improve the team around him. It's a high-risk, high-reward scenario. Now, let's talk about fit. How would Giddey mesh with the current Bulls roster? On paper, it looks pretty sweet. Imagine Giddey running the point with Levine and DeRozan on the wings, Patrick Williams at the 4, and Nikola Vucevic holding down the center spot. That's a lineup with some serious potential. But basketball isn't played on paper, and there are some concerns. Both Levine and DeRozan are ball-dominant scorers. Would they be willing to take a step back and let Giddey run the show? And how would Giddey's lack of consistent outside shooting affect the team's spacing? These are the kinds of questions that keep NBA coaches up at night, folks. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the pressure. If the Bulls do decide to shell out $30 million a year for Giddey, you better believe the expectations are going to be through the roof. We're talking save the franchise levels of pressure here. Is a 21-year-old kid ready for that kind of spotlight? So, what should the Bulls do? Let's break it down. Option 1. Pay the man. If the Bulls truly believe in Giddey's potential and think he can be the cornerstone of their franchise for the next decade, then maybe $30 million a year isn't too steep a price. They could structure the contract with incentives and a team option in the later years to mitigate some of the risk. Option 2. Negotiate. The Bulls could try to bring that number down a bit. Maybe offer $25 million a year with heavy incentives that could push it to $30 million if Giddey hits certain benchmarks. This could be a win-win, giving Giddey the chance to earn his payday while protecting the team's interests. Option 3. Walk away. If the price is just too high and the Bulls aren't convinced Giddey is worth the risk, they could choose to pursue other free agents or focus on developing their young talent in-house. Giddey's got undeniable talent and potential, but $30 million a year is a big ask for a player who's still got some holes in his game. I'd try to structure a deal that starts lower and escalates based on performance, giving both sides some protection. But hey, that's just my take. What do you all think? Should the Bulls break the bank for Josh Giddey? Or is this too much, too soon? Let me know in the comments below, and let's get a debate going. Before we wrap this up, let's not forget the bigger picture here. Moves like this can define a franchise for years to come. The Bulls are at a crossroads, and how they handle the Giddey situation could determine whether they're competing for championships or languishing in mediocrity for the next 5 years. It's a high-stakes game of basketball poker, and the Bulls are holding some interesting cards. Do they go all in on Giddey's potential, or do they fold and look for a safer bet? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, the NBA offseason is about to get real interesting, real fast. Alright, hoop heads, that's all I've got for you today. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more NBA news, analysis, and hot takes. Until next time, keep balling, and I'll see you on the next one.